It up and getting ready for some hockey.
I
That's
think
our
they
intro.
uh, I think they might have caught that one right there. But it looks like we're probably ready to go right now. If you guys heard Nolan singing there at the beginning,
That's our new
um,
intro song.
yeah, there's our new intro song. This is the Osmo.com NHL DFS strategy show. I'm Jay Kari, joined by Nolan Kelly, as I am on most bigger slates. Uh, Last night was a bloodbath, but how did you end up doing? I guess I kind
Oh,
of told you how I
terrible,
did.
terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
terrible.
Terrible.
Woof.
Um,
What was not good. Um,
no.
just
And I had
nothing.
some like Simmons Butcher Devil stacks, and I was like, oh baby, let's go. And then just nothing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Really, really bad. So I don't know, man. I don't think I would do anything different too. Is the thing. I just think things didn't work out. Chicago 2 ended up being the nuts, and I said even before, like it just wasn't gonna happen for me if they were gonna be the nuts. Like I was gonna be dominated out of that for people that were heavier on them. But yeah, that was brutal. Like it was bad enough, and then we had that last game, and then Vegas decided to put their lines in a
Oh,
blender, and so
yeah. Somebody
cross.
said today it's like they quoted the line, the like high danger chances and scoring chances numbers for expected goal numbers for those lines. And maybe it might have been Derby, I don't know. And then he was like, yeah, anytime you can break up the two of the best lines in hockey
Yeah,
to accommodate Cody Eakin, you have to do it, right?
yeah.
Like
So that's what they were trying to do is like get Cody Eakin going, which is like, all right, what is really
oh,
getting Cody Eakin going, right? I
why?
mean, this
Why?
guy, he's a fine player. Like he's a good third line center, I guess, if he's got good line mates. But
Yeah,
geez, you just
exactly.
blow it all up against the Blackhawks. Like you're struggling at home all season. Vegas has been, and now you want to break up literally two of the best lines in the NHL.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see the tweet, but that sounds whoever it was sounds smart. Yeah, all right. So we've got what do we have? 8 games tonight. Another good slate. We're gonna run it back, and we'll go through each game. We are
I should
presented by.
say,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
All
You're
right, yeah,
good.
yeah, we've got to
Run
got
with
to
it.
take care of business.
Fire it off.
Presented by Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports, as you guys know. Pretty good night. I know a lot of people are struggling, frustrated with the contest over on DraftKings, and maybe on FanDuel as well. Pretty good night to go over and try out Yahoo. Whether you're playing the Thursday through Monday NFL contests, or you're getting in this $12, $300 to first, $3, $150 to first. Lower management fees than what you're going to see elsewhere. 12% on the $3, 10.7% on the $12. You're not going to face a lot of super steep competition. It's good for hand building, and two goalies. So, what I would try to do is try to correlate my skaters with goalies if I'm playing over on Yahoo tonight. Go try it
A
out,
lot of
especially
people
if
don't stack too. Like so, it's
you
definitely
don't
like
stack.
definitely.
All right, a
I
lot of
said a lot of people don't stack. I've
yeah.
noticed. So
So just kind of weaker competition is what you found as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what I'm playing tonight. That's where I'm going to play all my lineups tonight. Draftkings can't figure out how to size a contest for hockey. Yahoo's going to get all of my dollars tonight, and they're already getting most of them anyway. So
and
I'm a little bit bitter, but maybe Yahoo's the future here. Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. Hopefully, we can keep filling these Yahoo contests, and they can start to offer bigger and bigger ones, and maybe compete with the two bigger sites. You've obviously signed up for Yahoo, but for people that are looking to sign up that maybe don't know even that Yahoo has daily fantasy sports, some of our newer viewers, you can use promo code Osmo to get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points on your initial deposit. So Yahoo Sports Rewards Points is just a fancy word, fancy phrase for cash on Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports. So that's free money in your account, depending on how much you actually end up depositing. So go check it out. And if you want more information on how to use that promo code, check out Emacs Primetime article. I think it's in the third paragraph. You can see um, more information on that, and then EMAC breaks down the Thursday night football game from a showdown perspective. Does a really good job of talking about all the relevant players, gives his rankings and all that stuff. We also have showdown rankings, which are free today. Would suggest checking these out if you're playing some showdown NFL DFS. Are you playing tonight?
Oh, you betcha.
So no, just no hockey, but you're gonna play.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah. There's really only one place to play showdown. Um, I don't know. That's probably on DraftKings, but
Yeah, yeah. Well, DraftKings
we
FanDuel has like an interesting where you don't pay 1.5 dollar amount,
That's
but you
right.
get the 1.5 the points. So
Yeah, I haven't played much over there. Been playing mostly Showdown on DraftKings. Probably gonna play some tonight. I do a league with a bunch of my friends, just
nice.
for fun. But
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, so we'll do that. We'll watch the game. Hopefully, be sweating some hockey as well. And if you guys are playing NBA tonight, Fast Eddie Fears rankings, I believe, are free today. Let me make sure this is true. I'll post this link in chat, but I think these are supposed to be free. Let's see if we made them free. Did you see that, Nolan?
Oh, I have to take a look here.
Let me check these out. I'm gonna look at our daily kind of marketing plan here. Yeah, this
We don't have
is
a post here for here. I'll go into incognito mode and see if they're free.
okay. Yeah, it says that they should be free. So if they're not right now, we'll get that sorted out, or they will be.
Yep, they are.
We might be doing the thing where we have to get a certain amount of likes on the deeper dive and live before lock. That might be why they're not unlocked yet. But
No, they're unlocked.
they're unlocked. All right, perfect.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Fast Steady Fears NBA rankings free today for you dual sport people that somehow play NHL and NBA, and some people do it really well, and I do not know how.
I don't get it, man. You have to be like sitting by, especially with so many late breaking NBA injury alerts, right? Like
Yeah,
you gotta be sitting by your computer.
yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a look at last night. Pretty brutal.
I'll be back in 10 minutes. You go for it.
What's that?
So I'll be back in 10 minutes. You go ahead.
10 minutes, man. This is going to take like 2 seconds.
All right.
So we'll look at let's see, users highest finishing lineup. I'm going to sort and just look at number one, Greener 09. What was the 0909? 3 entries, only 1 cash, but that was the only one that really mattered. It was the Ottawa 2 line, or I'm sorry, not even the Ottawa 2 line. It was Pajot with Kachuk, and then Zaitsev with Craig Anderson in net, and then Strome, Kane with Janssen and Nylander. So no Matthews, Pajot one off, Kachuk one off. Even though they're on the same team, they didn't really correlate that much when they weren't playing together. So maybe this guy missed the late news or something, or just didn't swap. Tyson Barrie with Nylander and Andreas Janssen. And so kind of an unconventional lineup, but ended up taking it down on what was a really weird slate and low scoring. 153.3 was the winning score in a $10 with 5,882 entries.
I guess our secret Colin White news didn't pan out so well.
No, it didn't. Bots has tweeted out lately that like you're probably near 100% if you just haven't changed late news and you just haven't noticed. Like you've probably done okay. We had the Tanev thing. We had someone a few weeks
Colorado
ago.
lines, Tom Banked.
Yeah. Well, that was like last week. Yeah, with Nieto Calvert situation. Yeah, man, it's brutal if you've been paying attention actually, for the most part. But yeah, not a great night. It wasn't a great night for the 150ers outside of a couple people. Really, it was only a great night for Louis Mister, who profited almost a little over $3,800 here. Was 0.1 away from binking this tournament and had a 0 in his top lineup, which was Thomas Chabot.
Oh, I was gonna say Giordano, but my God,
Yeah. So that's and then his other defenseman PK Subban 5.8. So 5.8 points from his $11,200 that he spent on defensemen.
My God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can remember a slate where you could have rostered 2 of the elite defensemen and got 0 points.
Yeah.
Literally 0, right? Giordano 0.
Chabot 0. Yep. So I saw some screenshots on Twitter of people like with both of them in a lineup. Just they've got the snowflakes next to them on the mobile app, and it's like, man, just really bad. But Louis Mister ended up with a really nice combo here of Chicago 1, the Strome, DeBrincat, Kane line, and then the Pajot, Connor Brown, and Nick Paul line. So
it's all lineup right there.
Yeah, and correlated goalie with Crawford. He was going to see volume, 25.8 DK points. So there you go. Some of the MMEers did okay, and Matt in chat says Chabot, Giordano, Subban, Theodore were the 4 highest owned D and combined for 10 points. Yeah. Theodore, I think he had like 4.2. Subban had the 5.8, and then zeros for Shabbat and Gio.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, my boy Essel Lindell didn't do anything either, even though he played 400 minutes.
Yeah. I only ended up with a couple shares of him. Hughes, Hall, Palmieri, they didn't do anything. Great advice. I don't know if that's sarcastic or what, but still ended up with a fair amount of them, and that obviously did not work out. They were just bad last night. Like, they weren't generating any chances, which I thought they'd be able to, even though they didn't have great numbers. But even against Ottawa, they just could not get it done. So we'll see. Hopefully not another slate like that for the majority of us. Congrats to those who did end up winning. Let's talk about tonight. We've got 8 games. Let's start with Carolina and Buffalo. We've got a 3.3 implied total for the Canes, 2.8 for the Sabres. Peter Mrazek expected to go for the Hurricanes, and then Carter Hutton confirmed for the Sabres. Any news here? Feels like Buffalo hasn't played in a while.
Sorry, I spaced out there, Jake. I'm sorry.
Buffalo, Carolina. I was saying if it feels like Buffalo hasn't played in a while. I think they've been off for a few days, like some sort of bye week or something.
Yeah, it has been a while since they played. We got some injury news, I guess. Sabaka's out. Looks like Johansson's also out. Curtis Lazar, haven't heard that name in a long time. The one-time darling Ottawa Senators pick, who went like 3 years without scoring, is up on the second line with BC and Middlestat. I guess it's more of a third line. And then Colin Miller is a healthy scratch tonight. So that's a little bit surprising. I thought he wasn't playing that badly. I'm just trying to see who is in for him. It looks like it is Scandella.
Yeah. So Scandella returns. They scratched Miller. I don't know. Not really going to ruin my day here. Post-Europe narrative for the Sabres and the Lightning. Yeah, something like that. Do you like anything in this game?
No. I mean, I haven't really gotten to much of it. I just like running crunches. I got to like about 15% of the Buffalo one line, which is a little bit scary considering they haven't been that great. But they are priced down a little bit from when they were all up in that 6K range. And then, but of course, you have like a pretty tough matchup against these two Carolina lines that are going to be generating chances and going to be able to carry the play. So I'm interested to hear what you say. You're the Carolina whisperer, and you seem to also have a pretty good feel for Buffalo at the time too.
Yeah, I wish I liked something in this game. Over 6 total, like shading towards the over. And like there's some lines that I think I would like to play. Like I want to play some of the Aho, Svechnikov, Teravainen line, but they're so expensive. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a super high event matchup, but I think that line is good at generating chances. So what I might do is end up forcing in some Carolina 2, talking about the Aho line. They're shown as 2 on your screen, even though it's really the top line. The Stahl line, I'm probably going to pass there. If I get to Carolina, it's going to be with what I think is by far the best line. And then I just have some Buffalo shares. Like I have 4% of Buffalo 1 right now when I ran a crunch right before the show. And that's without factoring in ownership. So some lines are going to get bumped down. I don't think we're going to see heavy ownership for Buffalo 1. So they might actually end up getting bumped up for me. But I don't think we're going to see a ton of ownership on this game all around. So kind of makes me want to somehow get to it, but it's kind of the obvious pieces if I do here and probably here. And then I don't really love the defenseman. I mean, I like Dougie for 6,800. It's just a little bit too expensive when I don't think it's a like completely nut spot, and there's just better defensemen that we have projected a little bit higher. And then on the other side, I never really like Dahlin when he's up near 5K outside of a great power play spot. I guess Montour's okay for 37. And that's really all I got here, man. They just refuse to play Skinner with good line mates.
Yeah. I mean, there's your, if you need a one-off, I guess he's probably not a bad option. Going to generate a ton of shots if you happen to be doing some 3-2-1 stacks or something tonight. But yeah, just like not super excited about this game. I don't really know why, but I kind of echo your sentiments. Buffalo 1 did have still getting pretty high ice time and full power play correlation as well, I believe. So don't think that's the worst play. And then if Carolina doesn't get any ownership, I could see going there as well. So,
yeah. So, if we see crazy low ownership from something here, like
Yeah.
below 5% for one of. We're probably going to see below 5% for one of Buffalo 1 or Carolina 2. Carolina 2 just because of their pricing. Like, people don't view Svechnikov as a 7K player, and probably not even Aho, and then certainly not Teravainen for 65. But if you just look at what you would think the numbers would be for this line, it makes sense to maybe pay up to be contrarian here and get away from Tampa or Florida in a couple of your lineups. So, the luxury of 150, I will probably end up getting to them somehow. But it's just a game that I hope kind of stays quiet because I don't think I'm going to be super heavily invested in this one.
Yeah, with you. Jack Eichel is Osmo's loan A Osmo's and yours A grade for points and value in his rankings today. Just one player in the whole set.
Yeah, the pricing is kind of weird. So I don't know. I kind of agree with that. He's been nuts so far this year. But let's go on to the Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've got a 2.8 implied total for the Rangers, 3.7, or I'm sorry, a 2.7 for the Rangers, 3.8 for the Lightning. Alexander Georgiev against Andrei Vasilevsky. They're starting Lundqvist on Saturday. I don't exactly know who they're playing against, but it seems like a good game to start him against a good Tampa Bay team, and they're just letting.
Is he better than Georgiev now, though? Like, I feel like that.
Yeah,
he's
I mean, he looks way better
from
what I've seen. Yeah, I mean, he just had the huge back-to-back game. He started back-to-back nights and won both games, getting like 40 and 50 saves or something ridiculous last week. So he's still capable of those type of games, and that's probably what you're going to need here from your goalie. So I thought it was weird that they weren't starting him, but they must have their reasons. Anyways, anything new here?
I'm just looking up their stats there. I don't think they're all that much different, though. Georgiev 926 save percentage, 5-on-5. Lundqvist 914. I think Georgiev's a good play, though. They're talking goalies just at the low price and the high shot total. So I'm going to have him, Elvis Merzlikins, in some of my lineups tonight. Tampa Bay wise, Volkov is out. Kerr Hagee is up on the second line with Stamkos and Palat. Was Hedman back last game? I can't remember, but he's back tonight. And then he's playing with Shat. Yeah, he's back, right?
Yeah, Hedman is back.
Yeah. And then on the Rangers side, it looks like they've been dressing 7 defensemen, having a defenseman play on the fourth line quite a bit. Last game, it was Trouba getting a fair amount of ice time with Elias Anderson and Greg McKay, with an arm for a leg and with a leg for an arm and an arm for a leg.
Jeez.
Well, Simpsons reference there for you.
Yeah. I don't know how to really approach this game outside of just playing Tampa 1. Point, Kucherov, Johnson. And then I think, so I rarely get to the Stamkos line, and you've got Verhage. He's 2,700. I'm not sure he's going to stick there for most of the game. So that's the problem with the Stamkos line for me. Stamkos is a fine one-off for 7,300 if you want a power play stack and just go point Kucherov, Stamkos with Hedman and just go onslaught here. That's also a pretty awesome idea, I think. But as far as full stacks go, even strength, I'm looking at 1 and 3 for Tampa. I think 1's going to see a good amount of time against Strome, Panarin, and Fost, and that line has been pretty bad at 5-on-5, and you would expect that to continue here. So you might see a bump in ice time for the Cirelli line. Point Kucherov, just a great combo. Don't really care who they go up against this Rangers team. They're just really, really bad defensively. And then on the Rangers side, I kind of do like the second line again. Kreider, Edel, and Buchnevich. I think that's just a really good price on this line and probably not a spot where they're going to get played all that often. So you're looking at around a 12K price tag, 12.3 in total. I really like them as a filler stack, and it's not a great 5-on-5 matchup, but they do have good numbers so far. And I think there's just a lot of talent. I'll play them at that price, and the expected ownership, even though we don't have ownership yet, I'm expecting it to be pretty low across the board on the Rangers.
Yeah, I think it'll be super low. So you're not going to have to compete with any one of those. And yeah, I'm with you on Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 1's great. I think they'll be the chalkiest line on the slate. We don't seem to have them like all that well projected relative to other lines. Like, I'm not getting a ton of them in crunches. I just ran 100 crunch lineup, and I got exactly I have 0 so far in
Whoa,
80 lineups, just straight 3-3 crunching. So that's kind of surprising.
that is surprising. Are you sure you didn't X them out?
No, did
uh,
you do like? I'm just straight like 3-3, 4 uniques. Yeah, Tampa Bay is listed,
that's
so
weird.
maybe it's an error. I don't know.
I mean, it's probably Florida one and LA one, and you're just getting the
Yeah,
better value lines. But like raw point
my big
wise,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
raw point wise, they're probably the top ranked line tonight. We don't have Boston one going. Colorado one's not at full health, but McKinnon is just outrageous right now. Maybe Edmonton one is the
but
top line.
strangely, like value wise on DK, they're all the same price. Winnipeg one's actually more expensive. So, and as is Florida, they're both $100 more, $100 and $300 more than Tampa one. Something's got to be wrong there.
Something might be. I'll look. Maybe the low projection on Tyler Johnson could be the case because of he hasn't been playing with this line so far. But I'll take a look after the show and see if there's anything that needs to be updated. But I'm sticking with 1 and 3 on Tampa's side for the most part, and then 2 on the Rangers if you're looking to get a little bit weirder. Game stack, the defenseman outside of Hedman, I'm not all that interested in anyone on the Tampa side or really the Rangers side. I suppose you could play Trouba, but kind of pricey for 5,900. Maybe this is a spot where he could get the combo meal, and I don't think that's out of the question, especially the blocks. But
I think Ryan McDonough is also a viable at a cheap price, and he's getting tons of minutes. He got 25 minutes last game, so at least he's a good bet to get in the blocked shot bonus, which is kind of surprising. And you got a little New York revenge game narrative. So
who's got the New York? Oh, McDonough.
Ryan.
Yeah, man, that was a long time. I forgot about that. Feels like a long time ago. Maybe a couple years. What are these tweet alerts I'm getting? Oh, Penguins power play. We don't need that for today. Someone asked, it was Matt. Playing 150 in the $20. I'm not quite a big money baller yet, so I'm playing 150 in the 8. I don't know if that's still open on DraftKings. And then I'm going to look to put some money elsewhere like Yahoo. I think it's a pretty good night for that. So no, not doing 150 in the 20. At least that's not the plan. But I don't know. Maybe I will put like 20 in there or something like that and see what happens after I'm finishing my lineups. That's really all I have for this game. It seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, after last night, who knows? It's like chalk is just feels like bad plays, once the game starts. But this feels like the best play on the slate. So I'm not trying to get that weird. I'm just trying to keep last night out of my head, and I'm just playing the best plays. And I think
your head down, go hard to the corners.
Yeah, exactly, and just differentiate with the rest of your lineup somehow with a defenseman or a couple defensemen or something like that. Let's go to the Jets and the Panthers. We've got Connor Hellebuck expected to go against Sergei Bobrovsky. 2.9 implied total for the Jets. 3.6 for the Panthers. Any news here?
I don't think so.
Trocheck, is that new? I can't remember.
Is that what's Trocheck's deal?
But he was out for a while, was he not?
Yeah, he was back last game though.
Okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's playing with Boyle. He's playing winger, I guess, is the thing.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because we have listed as
he's listed as a center, but that's just the what DK gives him. So he actually is he was skating on Boyle's line. So it was Boyle with Trocheck and Connolly. Too bad it wasn't Trocheck and Hoffman, because I think that would be a really cool line to fire up. Or you go Trocheck with Hoffman and Connolly or something like that. Get Boyle out of there. But yeah, not great. Makes it easier for me as far as what I want to do here. And that's hammer Florida 1. Probably going to be my highest exposed line. Probably going to be one of the chalkiest lines on the slate. I understand that. I can't really find a reason to fade them here. Winnipeg is not good defensively. The line that I think the Barkov line is going to spend the most time against in the Scheifele line is not good defensively. And I think that's just going to be a high event matchup back and forth. So I love both of the top 2 lines here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you as well. We got tons of them in our crunches. Those are my two highest exposed lines other than Detroit 1. So I don't know. I'm a little bit off of Winnipeg 1. I'm just a little bit scared of I don't know. recent play and like maybe the fact that they just don't have a defense, any defenseman to speak of on this roster anymore is starting to hurt them or catch up with them a little bit. But yeah, generally speaking, Winnipeg won tonight. Also with Bobrovsky and net, he's been pretty terrible this year. And then Florida won as well. My personal favorite line on the night. I'm curious to see what the ownership is like, but they are expensive. So you're probably going to have to. I guess they're not. They're expensive for Florida one. They're not like crazy Boston one expensive, but gonna have to find some cheap stacks to pair with them, I guess. But
yeah, they're right up there for me as one of the top stacks. I will say Yandel up with Ekblad probably gives him a safer minutes floor. Like he was down under 17 a few games ago. Now he's been at 22, 23 almost, and then 20. Let's see, almost 26 last game. And that was an overtime game. So, a little bit deceiving, but even if you put him at like 23, 24 minutes, something like that, I think that's pretty safe here if he's going to skate with Ekblad. So
yeah, exactly. And all about 10, he got about 10 minutes with that top line last game too. So,
yeah. So they're not I think what I'm still going to do is, okay, Yandel's 5K. It's not like he's 3,500 or something.
We don't have Bearman Yandel tonight?
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still I'm more open to the idea of playing on this top pairing of playing Yandel as a one-off, but I still don't think I'm there for this price. I think if he has a big game, like you saw last game, when they came storming back against Boston. By the way, one of the weirder things that will probably happen all year, Boston blowing a 4-0 lead and then losing to Florida of all teams. Not that Florida's bad, or maybe they're bad. I don't know, but
especially. You're right, like especially with like he's just a pass first defenseman too, right? Like he's not a shoot first defenseman, so he's the perfect kind of guy you want in your 4-man stacks because essentially you're banking on multiple goals from that line, but then also assists, and that's where he specializes. So.
Yep, you're looking. Yeah, he correlates to that line, is what I'm trying to say. So I probably won't have Yandel lineups that don't include Florida one, and then on the other side. I don't mind Morrissey for 5,100. Probably the only guy I'm really looking at for Winnipeg. But Morrissey's not one of my top one-offs by any means for 5,100. So really just the top two lines for me here. Is there anything else you want to talk about on either side?
No, I mean, I think the third line as well for Florida is going to go underappreciated. You got two snipers on there with Hoffman and Vetrano, so I don't hate that, especially if it's coming in at lower ownership, though they just haven't been great so far this year. And then on the other side, I think like Winnipeg 2, maybe like if Winnipeg 1's going to be 15% owned and Winnipeg 2 is going to get like 2% ownership, I could see going there, though. There's a clear talent drop off, though I would expect they probably get the better matchup of the two Winnipeg lines not having to go up against Barkov, right?
Say that again?
Like Winnipeg 2 probably gets the better matchup not having to go up against Barkov, or is Barkov still?
I don't even think Barkov's that bad of a matchup. Like,
yeah. He hasn't been for like 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Like a year and a half. So
yeah, like he gets this talk about how like this for the Selke and stuff, and that's fine. But like as a line, their numbers aren't that impressive. Not to the point where I think you need to avoid Scheifele, Connor, and Line A. And I think if there's a bunch of penalties in this game, like you're going to see a lot of goals. So I'm hoping for a lot of goals in this game. This is one game that I'm going to be really heavily invested on and concentrated on each team's top line. All right, let's go to Arizona and Minnesota. 2.6 implied total for the Coyotes, 2.8 for the Wild. Antti Ranta and Devin Dubnyk in net. I don't see anything changing on either side. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
Let me pull this up here. Yeah, no, I didn't see anything.
Your line changes article, I believe, is free today. Is that out?
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't checked it. No, it's not out yet. We'll get it out after the show.
Okay, well, when Nolan's line change article comes out, that will be free. So that is our free piece of NHL premium content that we're only unlocking for today. By the way, I don't think, maybe I did, but I don't remember mentioning the giveaway, or I'm sorry, the free trial we have going on right now. NHL Free Week is the promo code. This expires tomorrow. So you have today and tomorrow to take advantage of this. If you don't take advantage of it, that's the end of it. So we'll probably send out an email early tomorrow morning reminding everyone. But if you have not signed up, you get a free 7-day trial if you choose the NHL Weekly or NHL weekly express packages and type in promo code NHL Free Week. You won't get billed for 7 days. You'll get access to projections, DraftKings ownership projections, premium Slack, Nolan's line change article for an entire week. So you'll get a couple of bigger slates. I think we got a pretty decent sized slate tomorrow. You get Saturday, Sunday usually slower, and then I think you'll get a Tuesday, Thursday as well if you sign up today. So pretty good, and it's free, so no reason not to at least try it out. What do you think about this game? Lowest total on the board.
It's pretty ugly, right?
Yeah.
So we got, is it the lowest total?
I believe it is. We got it at under 5.5.
Minnesota 2.9, yeah. Arizona 2.7. I'm good. Moving on.
Well, it's not like if this was a 13-game slate or 12-game slate, I probably would. I still am getting to some of the Wild because they're just so cheap. And I'm getting to some of the step on line too, which I don't actually hate.
Minnesota 1 and 2 are ridiculously cheap. Koivu Fiala Parise line, it's nuts.
Yeah, so the problem I have with Minnesota is I think they're going to be sneaky popular as a filler stack just because they haven't brought up the price on Stahl, Zuccarello. That line's played okay at 5-on-5. Koivu, Parise, and Fiala are ridiculously cheap just for any top 6 line for a team that at least can score goals. I'm not sure Arizona is that bad of a matchup here, especially with Ranta and net. The problem is I don't know how the matching is going to go. If we're going to see Koivu against the Kessel line, I think that's probably what we're going to see. Or I think it's a possibility that they don't match at all. So hard to get a true feel for this game. The lines I'm probably going to stick with are the step-on line and then Stahl, Zucker, and Zuccarello. That's really all I got. Those lines are right now about 5% for me, though. It's not a game that I think, like, even if one line goes off here, I think we're going to see like a 3-2 score, or like maybe a 4-1 score with an empty netter or something like that. I just can't see this game playing at a super high event style.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota number 1 in scoring chances against so far per 60 this season. And Arizona hasn't been that great, but they're still a pretty darn good defensive team. And then Minnesota fourth and 5th best team in high danger chances against as well. So I think there's a reason this total's low. And like when you also have a low total game with two teams who tend to roll lines, there's really like the upside's really limited for each one, right?
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with too. There's just cheap plays here. The guys that are going to project as okay values. You mentioned the forwards and then the defensemen as well. People are in chat. Obligatory Chikrin mentioned. I think he's a good value at 4,400 as a one-off. You don't have to stack a line with him, I don't think. He's a guy who can get there with shots and blocks and all that stuff. And playing top power play, I think, is obviously good for 4,400. Same thing for Dumba, 4,400 for him. I'm just there. Like, I'm just in on Dumba. So I hope the hot streak comes soon. Before I am broke, but I just think 4,400 is too good of a price for Matt Dumba if he continues to play 20-plus minutes. Connor Garland, anyone? I'll probably pass tonight.
Yeah. I know. Like, I really like these Arizona lines as filler stacks, but only in the right circumstances and in the right scenarios. And tonight is not one of those nights. Though Carl Soderberg does project really well for us if you're looking for a cheap one-off. He's on the power play 1. I don't know if everyone caught that. I missed that a couple days ago. So he's cheap. He's pretty good. He's low priced. And I would use him in 3-2-1 stacks if you need someone cheap.
Fair enough. Let's go to Colorado and Edmonton. 2.8 implied total for the Avs. 3.2 for the Oilers. Adam Werner in net against Mike Smith. And this should be a fun one. Do we see any news here?
Yeah, so Edmonton has shuffled their lines a little bit. Alex Chiasson is down on the third line with Gaetan Haas, who draws back in. Sam Gagner is out. Josh Archibald is up on the second line with James Neal and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. On the Colorado side, I think Pierre Edouard Bellemare is game time decision, injured. I can't remember. But, watch him. You're probably not going to be rostering him anyways. And then as well, Kevin Connaughton is in for Mark Barbero, I think.
Yeah. Is there anything outside of McDavid line and the McKinnon line and McKinnon one-offs here that we need to really be talking about? I mean, do we need to be talking about Colorado 2 here? I don't know. I think the only way I would want to get to a lot of Colorado 2 would just be Kadri with McKinnon and Donskoy or something like that if you're power play stacking. McKinnon's just been on another level, and I don't really see the shots stopping here and just the great peripheral numbers. And I think going up against McDavid, which those two are going to be on the ice a lot against each other, that's going to be good for both of them. And so 8K for McDavid, 7,800 for Draisaitl. You can leave off Kassian if you want for 4,600 and go to Nugent Hopkins or something like that and power play stack it on the other side. But this one's going to be fun to watch, especially when those two guys are on the ice together, and it should see a lot of pace. And outside of those two lines, there's not really much that I think we need to talk about here. Like, do you like any of the defensemen, Clefbaum, Nurse? Those are two guys I like a little bit. Cale Makar, got lucky with a goal on him when I was super heavy on him last game, and he didn't really do much else. But is there anything else you want to talk about here?
No, I don't really have a good read on this one. I feel like the totals are decent. Like this is also gonna come down to like ownership for me. I feel like there's probably going to be some recency bias with that Colorado one line, so might be a time to get off them. I don't know. It just feels like they're overachieving a little bit right now. Although Nathan McKinnon has activated God mode right now, and he just looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
I don't hate Colorado 2 as a filler stack or Colorado 3 if they're not getting any ownership. And then, I don't know, Edmonton 1. I like them.
Yeah,
but
they're grading out really well. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as Zach Kassian. If I'm just going to replace him with Nugent Hopkins or something like that and just go with the full power play.
It's not a bad option, but like he's also like it's one of those situations where he's done nothing all year, and like the two-man stack in that scenario has worked all year long without Kassian. And one of these days he's gonna Zach Hyman a couple into the net, and you're gonna be sitting pretty if you got him at 4% ownership, right?
McDavid will probably throw one into his skates like
exactly.
3 times in a game.
It's gonna happen, right? Yeah. Cassian's huge. He's a good net presence. I don't know why he hasn't done anything yet this year, but
4,600 though, like, oh man,
what? How did he go up?
I don't know. It must be the blocks or something. I don't, man.
It must be the blocks.
Who knows?
Like block shot master.
McDavid.
He scored. He scored in 2 straight. That's why.
Has he really?
Yeah. So he had a goal and 2 assists against Anaheim. Goal in 3 or 4. Getting about 15 minutes a game now. I'm not going to get the power play time, but. Sorry, maybe I'm way off base with there. I hadn't been.
I mean, I haven't really. I don't think you're hurting if you faded Zach Kassian so far this year. So I definitely want a piece of McDavid and Draisaitl. They're going to be up there for me. Colorado as well, both like top 5 or 6 lines on this slate. Raw point and just like exposures for me. I think they're both going to be up there. When ownership does come out, you might see some lofty numbers as far as ownership for McKinnon and McDavid. I still think you can one-off McKinnon. I wouldn't be looking to necessarily one-off McDavid. I think if you're going to play him with Draisaitl if you can. I'd much rather one-off McKinnon than Connor McDavid here. You all right over there?
Surviving.
All right. But outside of that, I would like to stack up both of these lines. And take advantage of maybe like a lower owned Matt Calvert. You've seen him be okay playing on this line. I think he got the shot bonus. Like he's just going to be able to be in a good spot skating with McKinnon and Donskoy. So I wouldn't just outright fade him for 4,300, especially if he's going to have
absolutely. And that's a great point. Like if people are fading these lines, I haven't looked at the Colorado one ownership, but if people are fading Donskoy and Calvert, well, that's you're going to get that line at super low ownership, and they were on the winning lineup 2 nights ago, I believe. So. They're getting their fair share of 5-on-5 ice time to boot. So I don't hate it. The only problem is you don't have full power play 1 correlation. But what are you gonna do?
14 points in 20 games for Zach Kassian. Corsi says, "Jeez, I haven't even noticed. Like I haven't even noticed him.
Like I feel like every game he doesn't do anything. He's right. 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points.
Yeah. So this is going to be a popular game stack. I think you might even be able to fit both of these lines in if you just jam them in, but probably going to have to forego the defenseman if you do that. But there are defensemen that you got to like here. I'm backing off Cale Makar. I bumped him down a little bit at 5,600. I don't know where he's going to be at as far as like just shot attempts wise. I think that's a fine spot for him, but you're paying a premium at 56. That being said, he does give you extra correlation with the McKinnon line. So I'm kind of torn on what to do with him. And then I think I mentioned I like both Nurse and Clefbaum here quite a bit. I think you can stack either one of those up with the McDavid line. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Let's go to Dallas and Vancouver. 2.6 implied total for the Stars. 2.8 for the Canucks. Another low total game, Anton Khudobin. I think he's going to go because I think we saw Bishop last night, and then Jacob Markstrom confirmed for the Canucks. There was something going on with Horvat, right, at morning skate. Did you catch that at all?
Yeah, he left morning skate early. He is expected to go tonight, though, so we'll see. Game time decision, but I think everyone's assuming he's good to go. And then flanking him, Jake Virtanen is up on the second line. JT Miller, for some reason, is down on the third line, despite the fact that he's been ridiculously good this year, and it pains me to say that because I hated that trade so much. Josh Levo up on the top unit still, and then Sutter is out as well. I think he's like day-to-day, maybe week-to-week, lower body injury, I'm not sure. And then they called up Tyler Grauvech,
former Wild guy, yeah.
He's pretty terrible, so I wouldn't be playing this for line at all. And Dallas side, who knows? Oh, here's my Dallas note of the day. They did shuffle last night. Benz again, Radulov got 2.5%, 5-on-5 ice time. Ben Pavelski again got 4.5%. I'm just done with Dallas. I'm not playing them tonight. I'm not playing them ever again. So that's where I'm at.
I don't blame you here. Back-to-back, 2.6 implied total here for the Stars. You're probably smart for just avoiding Dallas altogether, and I think you could probably do that safely with 150. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I also don't think I'm going to end up playing these lines. Seguin, Ben, and you could go Seguin, Ben, and Radulov, like I said, and just play the good players or Pavelski, some combo of those guys, and just I don't really have much interest in playing Dickinson with Radulov and Corey Perry because I don't know if that line's going to be together. And so while the price might look good and the value might be good,
and Justin Dowling had a goal last night and they won, so probably going to start with these lines again. But
I'm just if they get down even 1-0 and they have a subpar period, and Vancouver's kind of giving it to them, you're just dead with Dallas. Whereas other teams will let them play for a while and give them a chance to figure it out. But Dallas just completely just aborts. When they get down or, even when they're tied, you're going to see Seguin with Ben and Radulov or Seguin with, I don't even know, Radulov and Pavelski. Who knows what they're going to roll out. There's never any consistency to it. So it makes it really difficult for DFS, even though they might look like good values. Who are the must plays? No such thing in NHL DFS. But we have talked about what we think are a lot of the good plays. Anything on Vancouver side you like? The top line here, Pettersson, Besser, and Levo?
No, I mean, I don't know. I just haven't been targeting Dallas or Vancouver, teams against Dallas too much this year. They've been pretty good defensively. I mean, they're on back-to-backs, but the low total, fairly high price point, Levo off that top line. If it was JT Miller, that would be another one of those kind of contrarian stacks that I guess no one would go to. I'm expecting their ownership to be pretty low tonight, but I mean, it won't take much to get overweight, I guess, is the one positive there. But I'm on team fade Van 1 tonight. What about you?
I like them a little bit. I think I'm with you in that they may go a little bit underowned. I kind of don't like that Levo's there. I wish overpriced JT Miller was up there so you would get the full line at pretty low ownership.
Exactly. That line was so expensive, but it was 1% ownership for 3 straight games, right?
So, and so a good, if you think about the top stack tool for other sports, a good payout to be contrarian spot where the chances that they're at the top stack are low, but they're still higher than what their actual ownership was going to be in tournaments. Here it might be more fair with Levo up there at 3,400, so I don't think a lot of people are going to leave him off when they do play Vancouver 1, and I don't think I'm going to leave him off either and just take my chances because I think that line is going to be fine at 5-on-5. Defenseman, you still got Edler on the second unit. What else do we got here? your boy Essa Lindell? Any of these guys you looking at?
No, not too much. I guess I got some Edler, but I don't know. I'm not super high on him tonight. I feel like it's gonna be a pretty low event game, and he's not on the power play one, so I'd rather go elsewhere at that price.
Yeah, not my favorite game here. Um, but we will see. Is this like this is classic like Dallas breaks the slate type of thing, right?
I don't know,
Back
man.
to
Maybe.
back, and they just like not a good spot. We don't know about lines, and they just Radulov goes. Talking about McKinnon going God mode. Like Radulov had the God mode game in the third period against, I think it was against the Wild a few weeks ago. Like, just feels too perfect. The Stars just continue to.
It could be, man. It could be. Like, it's not the worst call in the world, but that's all right. It's gonna happen one of these days. I'm not gonna be on it, but I'm okay with it. I've come to terms with my Dallas fading.
Smart man. Sharks and Ducks. We've got a 3.1 implied total for the Sharks. 3 flat for the Ducks, and Marty Jones and John Gibson expected to go. I think I just got an alert that Gibson is actually confirmed. Let me check on this really quick.
Just try to put Miller in as much as possible lately.
They have? Oh, yeah, a couple weird times they have.
He's my boy, though. He'll forever be my boy.
Yeah, they've got a good goaltending duo for sure. Miller, I think, one of the better backups. But I think we're expected to see Gibson here. I know a bunch of people I've talked to actually do like this game a lot. Do we see any changes? And then what do you think about this game overall?
I don't see any changes. Gooley was back in the lineup last game, and he makes for a pretty good value play at $2,700. Not seeing anything crazy on the Duck side, and then on the Sharks side, just some small stuff. I think Heed is out. Heed might be. Let me look it up. I don't want to give people wrong advice on players they're not going to be playing anyways. Proud is in. Heed is out. Heed is listed as on for the Sharks, so that's something. And then Lucas Rattle also is going to draw in on the fourth line. Noah Gregor is out. Neither of those things have been updated on Daily Faceoff yet. So if you're planning on playing San Jose 4 in the third pairing defenseman tonight, boy, we got some edge for you.
Yeah, I might have some things to sell you as well if you're playing San Jose 4. I
think Seth said he was playing San Jose 4 tonight.
Probably, yeah. Guy loves his third and fourth lines. So here, I thought I was going to get to a bunch of Anaheim 1. Like, I just kind of project out in my head what the lines I should be getting to when we run projections. And I thought I would be getting to Anaheim 1. They don't project that well. And maybe it's just because San Jose just kind of is boring in terms of their style of play so far this season. Like, not great at 5-on-5. Ducks, not great either. But I think they have 2 quality lines in the Getzlaf line and the Henrique line. So they're 2 that I'm interested in. I hope we see low ownership on 1, and that will kind of dictate where my where my exposure goes, because I feel like I have to have something here. And then on the Sharks side, I really like this Hurdle Timo Meier duo. You can add in Goudreau. You don't have to leave him in, but he's 3,200. I will probably end up leaving him in. And this Kane, Couture, LeBanc line, even when I boost them up, there's just so many other lines in their pricing tier that I like a little bit better. So unless they're crazy low owned, like if they're all under 5%, which I don't think they will be, I probably won't get to much San Jose 1 here, which I'm a little bit worried about. What about you?
Yeah, no, I got a lot of the Anaheim. What was it? Anaheim 2? I get them mixed up. No, not a lot, I guess, but a decent amount of the Getzlaf line tonight. So I think that's probably a good spot. I think, and I'm curious to see what their ownership is, like Anaheim 1 and 2, because if they go under the radar tonight, then I'll definitely try and get over the field on them. It's a pretty good matchup. San Jose is kind of starting to put it together though as well. So it's always tough to judge how you're going to attack Anaheim, because at the end of the day, you've still got Gibson there, right? So Burns grades out pretty well. He's my most exposed defenseman so far. Did not get to much San Jose, but I do think that San Jose 2 as well is pretty moderately priced, and it's really only a matter of time until they do something. They're too talented not to. So
Burns and Carlson, 2 of my highest owned guys as well.
Carlson got sorry to interrupt. Carlson got like 80% of the power play time last game. Looks like he's getting more and more comfortable, and just seems to be turning his season around a little bit lately. So playing more, had a season high in fantasy points, 3 assists last game. So I think you might want to get in early, because he's going to be, if he's getting back healthy, he's going to be up 6,500 and up.
And maybe he was just running bad before, honestly.
Yeah.
And
People watching
5,500.
the games though, like eye tests were saying that like he did not look like himself and
Yeah.
he's got a groin injury and whatever. But
Yeah. Maybe it just takes a little bit of time to get back from that. He had groin surgery, I think, in the off season, so kind of a maybe just a bit of a trial period. These first 15 or so games. Uh, on the Duck side, I like the Gooley call, 2,700. He's a guy I'll punt with. I think he's
yeah,
probably going to see around 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less, but I think he could do worse than $2,700 Gooley. And that's really it. Hope I'm not wrong on the Couture Kane LeBanc line. I'm a little bit worried that they're going to crush me tonight.
it's just so hard because like it's a great spot, but also and this Anaheim Ducks decor is so bad, but also like John Gibson, right? Like I don't know, I have trouble
Yeah.
factoring that in.
Yeah, hard to factor in goalie skill in DFS. Um, or hard to figure out a smart way to do it. At least I haven't really found a way. So um, let's go to Detroit and the LA Kings. Last game of the night, 2.7 implied total for the Red Wings, 3.3 for the Kings. Just want a quick mention before you guys leave after we're done with this game. NHL Free Week is the promo code for a free week of Awesemo Plus NHL. This works on the NHL Weekly or the NHL Weekly Express package. You get to try us out for 7 days, no strings attached. If you cancel, you can cancel anytime if you don't like your membership. But join Slack when you do for the duration of your 7-day trial. And hopefully you stick around and you like the content and the tools and ownership, which actually just dropped right now. If you guys just heard that, Slack clicking. Ownership is up, so we can review that after we're done with this game for a couple minutes. All right. Anything different in the Kings Red Wings game?
So some weird stuff. Mike Amadeo's back for the Kings. Looks like Kovalchuk's still going to be out. I have no idea what's going on with that. Seems like a really weird situation. They've like adjusted their like crappy lines again. I don't know. It's still the same for top lines. I just can't get excited about LA. Phil Peronic is a game time decision for the Detroit Red Wings. It looks like all their lines are going to stay the same as well. Didn't see any changes there. For the Kings, I'll just go over these lines quickly. It's Carter, Amadeo, and Toffoli. So that's not a bad little spot there, especially because you'd expect Kopitar to be going up against the Larkin line. So those three shoot a lot and pretty good cheap filler stack against a porous Detroit team that doesn't defend very well if Larkin's not on the ice. Also, these two teams ranked dead last and second to last in penalty kill percentage in the NHL this year.
We're going to see some. I was worried about this, but the Kings are looking like they're pretty chalky in our ownership projections right now on DraftKings.
That line is so cheap, man. Like the Toffoli, Carter,
well, and the top one too, the Kopitar line too. Like, so you've got two cheap lines.
This is ridiculous.
You've got So this is I don't know. It's good that this came out right now because I like the Kings. I think they're good value, but I think value is a little bit overrated in variance-based sports, and that's what we have here in NHL. And similar to MLB, the value goes a little bit overvalued. So they're not going to grade out that well in terms of raw points, either of the top two lines, but they make it work, and they make your lineups project a little bit better. I'm probably going to forego getting overweight on either of these Kings lines. I was really worried about the second line, but the top line is pretty popular as well. So I actually really love the other side too. It's not like that I don't like the Kings' top two lines. It's just that the ownership is a little bit much for me to consider, taking a heavy overweight stand or anything. So I'm probably going to be underweight. I am going to be overweight on the Larkin line, as you guys have heard me say numerous times. Just one of my favorite lines to play. I think if they're around the same ownership as the Kings, that's a mistake. They're the best line in this game by a long shot. I'm not that worried about Kopitar, Iafallo, and Brown when we're talking about what I think is an elite trio in Detroit 1. That's really all they have going for them. And as I always say, with Detroit, it's like if they score 3 or 4 goals, it's hard to imagine a scenario in which the Larkin line doesn't get in on 2 to 3 of those. So I think the scoring is just projected to be concentrated more often than not. And that's where I take my chances on Detroit basically every time.
Yeah, fair. I don't quite share your enthusiasm there. Like, I feel like I'll probably come in at weight. But I mean, it's a pretty good spot. And of course, you also have the goaltending X factor as well, where I think is it Jonathan Quick tonight? Like, You know,
They've been bad.
one of the worst tandems in the league. So, what are we at with Kopitar defensively? Is he still elite,
They're,
or
I think he's obviously good. I
because
don't think this is
we're
a
what 2 years removed from both of them being nominated for the Selkie or something, right?
who's
Like
that?
both Brown and Kopitar were nominated for the Selkie, weren't
Yeah,
they?
that was a few years ago. It certainly was not last year. Let's see where they're at this season. I think I looked this up earlier today, but real quick, let's see. Kopitar and then Dustin Brown. You might beat me to it, but um, they haven't played a ton so far this year. Oh, okay. They've played 146 minutes, more than I remembered, but they're giving up 56 shot attempts per 60. They're giving up 28 scoring chances, 9.5 high danger chances against. So less high danger chances than you'd want to see per 60 minutes. But like I say often, it's just this line is so good that I kind of throw the defensive numbers out the window unless it's a Boston one or Couturier line or someone like that. I try not to worry about it too much when we're talking about the best of the best lines, and I think Detroit one is in that tier at this point. I don't really want to stack defensemen with them. Maybe Mike Green, but they refuse to put him on the top power play. But 3,800, fine price. Anything else you see in this game that you want to talk about, or in the ownership projections? Have you taken a look and scrolled down and seen anything that kind of catches your eye? Someone that's too low owned, in your opinion?
So yeah, let's take a look. I mean, Pedersen 5%. Like, I'm really wishing that JT Miller was on that. Also, like Winnipeg 2, Patrick Laine 5%.
Yeah.
I feel like Winnipeg 2 with
No, that's
Healers.
one.
Oh, that's one. Wait, that's one.
One.
No,
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say too. They look underowned.
ooh, that's pretty good.
How about
Yeah, because like really, I mean, it's Florida. Like, that's nuts. It's also surprising because like, they're coming up a lot in our projections, and I would assume that a lot of other people would have them highly in their projections too. So the fact that they're low owned and coming up in our projections means they're in a great spot, I think. So
how about this?
sorry, go ahead.
Tampa, the most popular line, but
Yeah,
then like you look at McKinnon and McDavid, and they're quite a bit lower than them. So we have it like Tampa 1 is going to be the chalk, and then McDavid and Draisaitl are going to be, and McKinnon lines are going to be after that. That's interesting. I figured it would be more bunched up at the top. I figured you would see Kucherov with McKinnon and McDavid as like 3 of the top like 10 or so players owned, but right now we don't have it being the case.
yeah.
That's interesting.
And like, so also looking at this, like looking at the most expensive lines here, I think if you're going to be stacking them up, you probably want to avoid a straight up LA Kings 2 stack with some of the higher price lines, because you're going to be looking at hundreds of duplicates in larger GPPs. So just something to think about.
Yeah. All right, good stuff. Glad the ownership projections dropped right when we were done. Thanks to Alex for that. And they're only going to get better.
Winnipeg won tonight. Let's go.
Who's that?
Right. Winnipeg won tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like that entire game, the ownership that we see there. Can't play everyone, but I'm surely going to try. All right. Free stuff. Showdown rankings are free today. Take advantage if you're playing Showdown or not. Just click on that link, and those are free. That is usually a premium tool, so, this is your only day to check those out. Fast Eddie Fears. NBA rankings are also free. And then if you want to learn how to sign up for Yahoo Daily Fantasy Sports, who is the presenting sponsor of the Osmo.com NHL Strategy Show, click on Emacs article. Click on that, I think it's the third paragraph or so, and you're going to want to, maybe it's a little bit farther down, right here, and you're going to want to use promo code OSMO to get up to $30 in Yahoo Sports rewards points. I see a bunch of people giving it a thumbs up in chat. If you could give us a like, that does continue to help us do this kind of content for free, and I know you guys like free, so that's why we're giving out a bunch of free stuff some days, but a bunch of the tools are behind the paywall. So NHL Free Week is the promo code if you want to get a free week and you haven't already taken advantage of that. It's free, so you might as well try it out. And if you want to, you can cancel anytime you want. Anything else, man?
That's it.
All right. Good luck tonight, guys. We will catch you back tomorrow. I think we've got another good Friday slate, so good luck.